sang such beautiful bhajans. It's so easy to slip into samadhi because the bhajans are so beautiful. These bhajans, namasmarana, kirtana, Vedas, repetition of truths, mantra japa, all these are triggers for a purified mind who hears this is triggered into the state of pure consciousness. A little meditation on a word. Tumaho Atma Rama, Andara Rama, Bahara Rama, Ghata Ghata Vasi Rama. Ghata means this body. Ghata Ghata Vasi Rama. One line is enough to redeem you. And inside also Rama. Outside is also Rama. In everyone there is Rama. Aham Brahmasmi, Sarvam Kalvidam Brahma. Aham Rama Asmi, Sarvam Kalvidam Rama. That one sentence is enough for those who are purified, whose intellects are absolutely Vishuddha Sattva, Vishuddhatma Manadvar. For them, this one line is enough. You don't need too many readings and too many writings. And now I am feeling these satsangs are also unnecessary. Because one line is enough to meditate upon and understand the truth. What is the use of everything? Poti padi padi jagmuha. Bhayana Pandit Koi. Kabir says, people have read all scriptures of the world. Nobody has become Pandita. By reading scriptures, if somebody could become Pandit, then today's biggest Pandits are computers, Kindle, iPads, iPods. They have all the scriptures in them. But do they meditate on them? Do they understand one line also of those scriptures? They are mere machines. That's why they are artificial intelligence. Their intelligence is not born out of Brahman. Therefore, their intelligence is incapable of piercing through the layers of ignorance and finding the truth. Don't become another storehouse of scriptural wisdom, library of Vedanta. That is not going to help. One sentence also you take and meditate, meditate, meditate. Till when? Till the meaning reveals itself. Tad japas tad artha bhavana. By japa, by continuously chanting to yourself, tad artha, its meaning becomes your experience. Your feelings merge in that meaning. Till then you chant Andara Rama, Bahara Rama, Ghata Ghata Vasi Rama. That is enough. Just meditate on this one line. Oh, inside me is Rama, outside me is Rama. In every being, there is only Rama. There is nothing more than Rama. One sentence is enough. Why you need anything else? It is so beautiful. I was meditating on that one sentence. Andara Rama, Bahara Rama, Ghata Ghata Vasi Rama. I kept on meditating on that one sentence throughout the bhajan. It was so blissful. And I was not knowing how will I speak after all this. Because it is so intoxicating that Rama itself, the word itself is intoxicating. And then to meditate on the glory of Rama, it is even more intoxicating. Shuddha Parabrahma Ashrama Gita, Shuka Shaunaka Kaushika Muni Pitha, Pibare Ramarasam. All the rishis have drank this rasam only of Rama. They did not do anything else. Though they have written so many scriptures, read so many scriptures, taught so many scriptures, at the end, what is this bhajan saying? They all drank the name of Rama. Pibare Ramarasam. Janana Manana Bhava Shoka Viduram. Sakala Shastra Nigamagama Saram. It removes the shoka of Janana Marana, the birth and death. Janana Marana se par karo. This fellow is crying every day. Janana Marana se par karo. Behind him, all of us are crying. Are we really crying is the question you have to ask. Or are we just repeating? Are we just singing? Sukha, Shaunaka, Kaushika, all these great munis, they meditated on this Rama Nama, not Rama as the form. Not Rama as the form who was the king of Ayodhya, who went to the forest, who has so many controversies surrounding him. Not that Rama. They meditate on the Rama as the Shuddha Parama. Shuddha Paramahamsa. Ashrama Gita. He is the song of the Shuddha Paramhamsas. Those who understand what Rama truly is, it is their song. It is their voice. It is their word. Who? Shuddha. Those who are purest in their mind. And Paramahamsa there. Hamsa will differentiate between milk and water physically. Paramahamsa differentiates between Nitya and Anitya. To such a person, for those person, this is the rasa. This is the ultimate nectar. So Rama is not the form, but the thought of Rama that he is the Brahma Sattva, he is the Tattva who is inside me, outside me. Because how can be a king of one country be inside me, outside me, and also inside everybody? How is it possible? Physically, it is not possible. Can it be possible? Even if he possesses me one day, another day he can possess you, third day he can possess her. One day, how can he possess everybody and everything? Everything. So the consciousness of Rama, the Brahman, which is the true consciousness of Rama, Nama Rupa Vihaya, after having given up the name and form, what remains? That consciousness is one line is so blissful. And I was thinking, how are we going to now have this satsang? It's so impossible for me to now open my eyes and think and speak a word. And I was thinking, what are we going to do? Okay, Narsimurti will take 10-15 minutes, so I've got 10 more minutes to wait for things to move. Let us see how it goes. And I was thinking, how are we going to? It's so blissful. The thought is so blissful. What should I do? Then suddenly my nose started itching. I thought, where did this itching come from? And then I remembered. Sri Rama, when he was listening to Vasishtha Gita, he lost himself into the feeling of Brahman. And everybody got very worried. They said, we called you Vasishtha to cure him of this new madness that this Rama has got. Doesn't eat properly, doesn't sit properly, he's lost all interest in kingdom and everything. We will lose our Yuvaraj, the prince. Do something. And Vasishtha comes and gives him more jnana and he asks more questions and Vasishtha replies more. Finally, Rama is totally lost. So it seems Vasishtha becomes a bee, enters his nose. He irritates him so that he comes out of that blissful state and then he is back to ground zero. So when the nose started irritating me, I thought, oh, this must be that Vasishtha doing. In subtle, may not be in the physical. That get up from this feeling. Otherwise, one session is going to go. So you may also wonder why, what is the need of speaking in every session? I am not speaking for your sake alone. I am not even speaking for my sake. I am not even speaking for speaking's sake, to pass some time in good thoughts. I am speaking because this is the foundation of our Vedantic studies of the university. This is the course curriculum which I am developing. Every day what I am teaching is our Vedantic studies curriculum of the university. So silently, gradually, casually, actually I am forming the syllabus by speaking. Someday it will formalize itself into books and notes and the practical aspect which is also there in terms of how you should meditate, how you should do pratyahara, pranayama, how you should do dharana, dhyana, samadhi, what is moksha. This will form the basis of the future Vedantic studies. That is the idea, that is why I am speaking. Otherwise, why should I speak so much? All this is there in books. Go and study Upanishads, all this wisdom is there. It's not my wisdom. It is a wisdom which was always there in us. And people have written, people have spoken, people have commented upon it. So there is nothing new that I can add to it. Only thing I can add to it is to speak in a way that becomes easy for our students, our staff, our volunteers, devotees, and any common layman to understand Brahman, them to understand Vedanta. They don't have to read plenty of books. One curriculum of Sri Sathya Sai University for Human Excellence is Vedantic Studies, founded by these sessions, founded in these sessions, will become the Parayana Grantha there. You can read this and you know almost everything, and everything else will be reference reading. You want to know where this thought comes from? It's from Kenopanishad. Okay, go study Kenopanishad. Yeah, that is additional reference reading if you want to. These thoughts have come from Kathopanishad, so go and study Kathopanishad. This has come from Bhagavad Gita, so study Bhagavad Gita. This has come from Panchadasi, so study Panchadasi. That has come from some Shankara Bhashya, so read from Shankara Bhashya. That has come from some other Gaudapadakarikas, so go read Gaudapadakarikas. Up to you. But the essence of all these things is being tabulated, is being organized. In a way, it's being formed into a curriculum itself, which will help the students study Vedanta in a very practical and easy way. From that point of view only we are speaking. Otherwise, I have no motivation to speak. But that is the reason, because he mentioned, why does he quote from here, there, while he knows everything? I quote not because I need to know. I'm quoting because tomorrow when students study these discourses as a part of their Vedantic study, they will know where these thoughts are coming from. These thoughts are our ancient scriptural thoughts. Shastra Pramana is there. So that when they open their mouth to speak, there is authenticity in what they speak. There is Shastra Pramana. Otherwise, how will you make a layman understand that all this is true? Of course, you have your experience. That experience you alone know. But continuous Swadhyaya, continuous meditation upon a thought, simple thought like Andara Rama, Bahara Rama is capable of redeeming anybody. I was telling yesterday, just one word of Swami, Divyatma Sarupullara, should be enough. Should be enough. That is Mantropadesha. People used to bother him. Mantropadesha, Mantropadesha. What Mantropadesha? Every single of those thousands of discourses started with one thought, Advaitic thought. Divyatma Swarupullara, Prema Swarupullara. Never called anybody by any other name. Divyatma Swarupullara. Oh, embodiments of divinity. Amrutasya Putra. That's what he's saying. That is what Upanishads say. But he won't quote Upanishad. He says Divyatma Swarupullara because that is his experience speaking. Prema Swarupullara is his experience talking. He doesn't need a scripture to validate that. But because I am forming this into a syllabus, and I want all this will be documented, nicely done chapter by chapter, into a good basic studies of Vedanta. In that, what is Vedantic thought of India? Which are the scriptures? Who are the Vedantic masters or preachers? What is the process of experiencing this Vedantic wisdom? All this will be coming into a syllabus. It's only for that sake that I am speaking. So later it will be useful for others. Otherwise there is no motivation for me. So truly speaking is a waste of energy actually. Somebody told me, Swami, everything is a waste of energy. You are telling everybody keep maunam, maunam, and you are going on talking. Morning 2 hours, evening 2 hours, what is this? Truly this is a waste of energy for everyone. But if everybody would have evolved to that extent, that maunam vyakhyanam would have done for them, I would have been very happy. You don't have to listen to anything. Just mauna vyakhyanam is enough. You sit there, you observe, you learn. Nothing to be taught and nothing to be spoken, nothing to be heard, discussed, debated, deliberated. Nothing was required. Maunam vyakhyanam would have been enough if everybody was of that nature of evolution and understanding. But because we are still growing, so for that sake. Otherwise there is not any necessity to read any scriptures and quote from them or form into a discourse. All this is very methodically being done in order to form the very basic of the Vedantic studies of our university, which will benefit hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of students over hundreds of years. These are infinite, this is eternal wisdom, it doesn't get destroyed. Science may change its theory and tell no, universe is actually not a balloon, it is now a barfi, it is now a laddu, it may change its theory. But Vedanta will not change. Universe is, we don't have this many, this is 1,50,000 light years diameter. Now they say, no, 3 lakh light years. Now they're saying maybe it's 5 lakh and beyond, maybe 7 lakh. Science will change. Technology will change. Vedanta will not change. So I know this syllabus that I leave behind will be there for thousands of years, no changes. All other things, be it languages, be it computers or technology, science, physics, chemistry, everything will undergo some change or the other. Science was not the same 100 years ago. 100 years before, even Earth was flat. Isn't it? 400-500 years ago, Earth was flat. And Earth was the center and Sun was going around. And all kinds of things. And now we know Earth is not flat. It is, so to say, round. It's not perfect round, but it is a round. A little compressed on North and South Pole. Then also we know our Earth is not straight, it is tilted. It has an axis of its own. Everything changed with passage of time. New satellites were discovered, planets were discovered, some planets were removed, some planets were added, some satellites were found, new scientific research happened, galaxies were discovered. Oh, we are not the only one in the sky. Milky Way, there are plenty of Milky Ways, bigger than us. And we are in one corner of the Milky Way, somewhere one small solar system here. In that there is sun, moon, everything, and then Earth, and then in that Earth there is one India, and then we are Chikbalapur, Mudanalli. Tomorrow everything may change, they may discover something else. We don't know. So every other syllabus will undergo a change. You have to keep on upgrading, keep on updating yourself. This one syllabus that I leave behind will remain Shashwata. It doesn't have to undergo any change. It was valid 10,000 years before, it's valid today, and it will be valid 10,000 years from now also. Till the end of life, Vedanta will be valid. Everything else may undergo change, questioning, experimentation, new finding. Vedantic studies, Vedantic experience will always remain the same, Nitya. So that is why I'm interested in talking so much and slowly lay the foundation of this department. And who is better than me to begin the department? This is my department. This is why I founded the university. Not for teaching science, physics, maths, chemistry. That's not the reason. I founded it to teach Vedanta. I told, what is human excellence? Turning into divinity is human excellence. What is the purpose of the university? Man should turn into divine. Physics will turn him into divine. Maths will turn him into divine. English will turn him to divine. Kannada will turn him to divine. What will turn him to divine? Only Advaita Vedanta will turn him into divine. So this is the original core, soul, spirit of the university. And because I am so interested in laying the foundation and making sure that it is very solid and remains there for 1,000 years also without changing. Therefore, I am putting this effort of speaking. Otherwise, it's not required. Anyways, that apart. So we were discussing this morning. Oh, but before that, so how many sentences are we at now? 20, 10. So today is 10 or tomorrow is 10? Today already you have come to 10. How many have been able to keep up this? I'm not taking the count of official work, which was a must, which you could not have avoided. Therefore you converse. But personal, general conversation, how many have been able to put 10? All those who are not working anywhere are 10. No, everybody has tried. 10 is only a ballpark figure, just to make sure that plus minus you are more or less there. Not plus 90 minus 90. No, that is not standard deviation of 10. Plus 1, plus 1.5, 2. That's where it should be. Anyway, Maunam Vyakhyanam is the future. So we will practice the Maunam within ourselves too. Because to listen to Maunam, speaker will be Maunam, his Vyakhyanam is Maunam. But the listener also has to have Maunam. Otherwise, how will he listen? Look at the paradox. Speaker does not speak, but listener should also not listen. In the sense, not listen to other things in his head, so that the mind is free to only absorb the knowledge that is coming from the Guru. So you have to practice that for the future. These are all for the future. It is relevant now, it will be relevant later, more relevant later than now. That is why. So in the morning they were asking, I thought I will cry. In the morning they were asking, what happens to the person? Is samadhi the ultimate? And will the person come back from the samadhi state and again land up in the same old worldly ways? What is the way? Just now somebody wrote in a question also whether samadhi is enough or we are going to come back again. I said, yes, very much you will come back again if your samadhi is not the constant samadhi. So there are three kinds of samadhis as described by our scriptures and based on the experience too. I explained the other day, nirvikalpa samadhi in terms of without effort you get into samadhi. When you don't know the answer of the question and teacher asks you and you are stunned, frozen, and no thoughts in your head. That's also nirvikalpa samadhi. Or you are so excited, so astonished by a new sight or a new word or a new scene or a new song. You lose yourself for that moment. That is also nirvikalpa samadhi. It did not require for you to do all these yama niyama and all those things. Out of shock also it can come. You meet with an accident, you are in a state of shock. Because of one bad experience, you are in a state of shock. Both ways it can come. But those nirvikalpa samadhis are not steady and not continuous ones. They just come. You don't even know it has come. Between two thoughts, there is a gap. That gap is nirvikalpa samadhi. But we don't know. So there is no point when you don't know. So the method was being followed right now is Raja Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, Patanjali, where we moved from Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara. Now we are in Dharana state. Dharana state, right? What is Dharana? We all understood that. To keep our mind focused on just one and not another thought. Just one thought is Dharana. Pratyahara was to withdraw the mind from all other thoughts. That was the first step. Second step was to focus the mind on only one thought. Yes, mind may deviate, it may go. So it's called Desha Bandha Chittasya Dharana. Desha Bandha means to restrict it to one place, to one thing, one idea, one thought. That is Dharana, Patanjali says. So what we have done, all the Chitta Vritti Nirodha we have done, all the other vagaries of the mind we have removed. How? Through Vairagya and Abhyasa. That we have done, isn't it? So now we have only one thought in our head, more or less. That Swami said, Brahmasmi is the thought, Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma is the thought. So we are keeping that. Desha Bandha. It has been restricted to only that and nothing else. That's why it is Dharana. Now what happens if it continues for a long time? If it continues for a long time, what they say is that this one, if it continues and stretched, ekaitanata they call it. Pratyeya ekaitanata. Tatra pratyeya ekaitanata. This one is dhyana. Iti dhyana. What is pratyeya ekaitanata? Pratyeya means that which you are thinking of. When that is stretched, tanata is like stretched. How? Like a string, like a thread. Only one and not others. Continuously if it is stretched, it becomes dhyana. So what is dhyana? Just that one thought stretched for a continuous long period of time. Not for just thinking now and forgetting. See, when I think of one thought now, I have done some dharana, isn't it? For just that one moment. Because I didn't think of anything else, I just thought of that. But then dharana is stretched. Ekaitanata, it is stretched to a longer period of time. It naturally progresses into dhyana. What is that thought? It could be any thought. It could be any thought. Good thought, bad thought, evil thought, ugly thought, dirty thought. Any thought which is continuously being stretched becomes dhyana. So dhyana does not say that it is a divine thought only that you are thinking. See, this is just the methodology to train the mind. Now what you train it for? To shoot somebody from the rooftop? Pakka dhyana. They were saying that the people who participate in shooting championship in Olympics and all, they are told at the last moment when you're pulling the trigger, stop breathing. Though they practice pranayama there. They don't breathe because they know the mind can deflect. And little deflection in that can be so, the target can, the bullet can go so much out of the range. Because a little deflection here, of course, in the course of its travel and momentum, it can go and fall somewhere else. Therefore, that time they practice this pranayama, dhyana pe practice. Dhyana means the focus is only on this center. So it means his mind is also a yogic mind. Is it not a yogic mind who is able to hold his thoughts, who is able to focus on one thing, so much so that he is able to hit that target even when 100 people are watching with his eyes open. We are all closing our eyes and hiding in a corner so that we are able to focus. That man is standing, all cameras on him. It's a worldwide broadcast. The tension and the pressure of winning the medal. In that also, that shooter is able to keep his focus. So he is a much better yogi than most. He shoots correctly despite all the pressure. So he also has dhyana. So what he does not have? Samadhi he does not have. If he gets samadhi, the gun will fall and he'll also fall. What is samadhi then? It says, this Patanjali only says, what it says samadhi? That is a shunya avastha. So what he defines is that saswarupa shunya sthiti. Your own form, your own identification with the body becomes zero. And what else happens? Does that happen or there is something else also happening? He says yes. What happens? That thing that you are meditating upon, that thing that you are keeping your thought upon, Brahmasmi, or I want to shoot to the target, I am participating in the game, whatever that thought it is, nirbhasam, it shines forth. It illuminates your being. And in that illumination of that thought, which is not necessarily a thought of Brahman, it could be any thought. That when it occupies all of your being, so much so that your saswarupa becomes shunya. Tatha eva arthamatram nirbhasam saswarupa shunyamiva samadhi, it says. That time what happens, whatever you are meditating upon, it overwhelms you so much. It could be even a man infatuated with somebody. It's overwhelmed that he doesn't know he's walking, talking, sleeping, eating. He's lost all sense of his body consciousness because his mind is so occupied. Therefore, that is also samadhi. What has happened? He has been able to control all other thoughts, keep one thought in his mind, and thought has become his being, his existence. It fills him, every pore of his being is filled with that one thought, where everything else gets excluded. So much so that he forgets that he's alive or dead or sitting or walking. That is samadhi, is Patanjali saying. Patanjali did not say samadhi is blissful state. He didn't say that. He just said samadhi is a state where mind is so focused that it becomes one with the object of focus, so much so that all the consciousness of your own form, it becomes zero. So that is samadhi. Now somebody focuses on God and attains a state of bliss, or a good thought and attains a state of bliss. That is samadhi. So samadhi's main objective was swaswarupa shunya. Your perception of yourself, that you are sitting, will become zero. You won't feel your hand, legs and anything because your mind is so occupied by that thought. It's completely absorbed in that thought. So the mind has no possibility of thinking of the body also simultaneously because it's 100% occupied by thought. If it was 99% occupied by that thought, and 1% it still could focus that this is my body, this is my, I'm sitting on a mat in my room, it must be around 7 o'clock. All these thoughts, it does not have that 1% available mind also to think of your body. 900%. It has completely got absorbed in whatever you are thinking of. So that state is samadhi, it says. But what I am saying is, even rishis, munis, yogis are able to attain this. But is that the ultimate? Is that what is? Yadvaita, the Upanishad. That is that, it says. Doesn't I explain. What is that? That is that. Yeah, so what is that? That is that. That is what I'm asking. That is what? That is that. Upanishads. How do I know it? You become that. I can't explain to you. You become that. So that is beyond samadhi. Beyond the bliss of samadhi. Bliss of samadhi comes because 2-3 reasons. One, your physical form, the deha bhava is gone. It means that back pain which is irritating you, that mosquito which is biting you, nose that is running, all this is gone. So straight away it brings you to some kind of a peace. Plus if you are thinking of something very pleasant, something very blissful in nature, that joy of it fills your being. So again you feel elevated, you feel very happy, light. So that is reach in a state of samadhi. Deha abhimanam galite, or your body consciousness is gone. And what is the abhimana you have developed now? Whichever thought you are thinking. It could be a bad thought also which has filled your being. It could be a good thought also. So bad thought will create some kind of excitement, maybe some kind of a raga or dvesha. A good thought, a divine thought like Brahmasmi on the same thing will create ananda bhava. So that's all. Samadhi is a methodology. It's like sharpening a knife. What do you cut with it? Up to you. So your mind gets so sharpened, it is so focused that it can become one with whatever it thinks. And that's how Patanjali goes on describing. If you think of an elephant, you will get the powers of the elephant. If you think of the other person, you will get to know everything about the other person. If you concentrate the same mind on your some hridaya or something, a whole lot long of sutras, I am not interested in that. Because he himself, before starts telling all these secrets of a sharp mind, which can go to dhyana avastha or samadhi avastha at its will, by constant practice, what it can do, it can achieve all these things. But before he says it will achieve all this, he said, all these are samadha upasarga. These are all obstructions to samadhi also, he says very clearly. A sharpened mind is capable of so many things. You can walk on water and all those things. You become light if you focus between your, I don't want to tell all this, then everybody will start focusing here and there. So Patanjali goes on describing a whole chapter on what to focus, where to focus in your body, outside your body. And you can attain so many siddhis. But he himself, before starting to explain, he himself says that these are all obstructions, upasargas, deviations from what? Samadhau, from the samadhi. He clearly says. It means if you develop a lot of dharana, dhyana, and you can become even samadhi with that thought which you are thinking, you can attain so many things. Suppose you are thinking of wealth all the time. You will become a rich man because your mind is always thinking of wealth. Your being reverberates with that idea. There is nothing else that you can think of. So miser people, they cannot think of anything other than money. Similarly, a king, he cannot think of anything other than expanding the boundaries. Similarly, a mother, she cannot think anything other than the child in the cradle. So that kind of intense thinking, so much so that you almost identify yourself with that thought, forgetting your deha bhava, is samadhi. But it can be positive also, it can be negative also. Depends on what is your object of meditation. So we are taken the object of meditation as Brahma or Brahman. Why? One, because the samadhi coming out of this will be a blissful experience. But will it last forever? It will only last as long as your mind is absorbed in it. The moment the absorption goes, your mind will again come down to the original state of dehabhimana. It will immediately identify itself with the body. So such a person who goes to samadhi, nevertheless, he knows what is the bliss of samadhi, which is brought out by thinking of good things like God. He understands the experience of it, the joy and the bliss of it, which is ethereal, which is beyond anything that is possible on earth. It's beyond. He also is capable of again coming down and identify himself with the body and senses and go back to the old ways. That is why when students were asking, Swami, why don't you give us a little experience of this samadhi, so that we have some sample test. So, little taste and see whether it is really good. Sample. I said nothing doing, I'm not doing any sampling here. Why? Because then I told them a story. I told them one boy was there, he was very dull and lazy. He has grown up into a big man now. Father said, enough is enough. You must work and work hard and earn something for yourself and feed yourself. You should pull your weight. Why should be a burden on an old father? So this boy said, what do you want from me? Unless you give me 1 rupee every day, I'm not going to give you food in the home. That is the minimum you have to contribute. In those days, 1 rupee. So he says, all right. So he says, go and get 1 rupee, then only will allow you to have food. So he goes and, where will children go if they want something? If father wants, asks, then they go to mother. So he goes to mother and says, this father is not going to allow me eat my food today. Ayyo, Kanna, if you don't eat, I cannot eat. So give me 1 rupee if you really want that. So mother, out of being mother, gives 1 rupee to this fellow. He comes back promptly to the father. Father says, oh, you got 1 rupee? He doesn't ask, where did you get from? Because he knows where he has got it from. And he tells, okay, now the well is there outside. Go and throw this rupee in the well and then go have your meal. He promptly goes, throws the rupee into the well without even thinking why, what. And then goes and has his food. So 1 day passed. Next day, mother is sent away somewhere by father. Again, father says, where is my rupee for today? Otherwise, I won't let you have food. So he goes and bugs his sister. Sister, give me something. Then my sister gives a rupee. He comes to give the father. Father says, fine, go and throw it into the same well, and then you have your food. So he throws into the well and has his food. Next day, father, what he does, he sends the sister away to her in-laws, so that there is nobody in the house who can give him money. Now this fellow searches everywhere but does not find the rupee. And now he's hungry, but father won't allow him to eat food. So he goes out in the market thinking what to do. And there he sees a man who has purchased something at a shop, a big bag or some wood, firewood. And he's looking for somebody to carry it back to his home. And this young man is sitting over there. So he tells this person, if you can help me carry this to my home, I'll give you 1 rupee. My home is not far, it's just 2 streets away. This young man thinks, oh, at least I'll get 1 rupee, I can have my meal. Those times there were no hotels, no Swiggy, Zomato, no credit cards, no instant loans, nothing was there. He has to eat at home only. And for that he has to pay 1 rupee. So what will he do? So he said, let me carry this burden. So he carries it, drops it at the destination and gets his rupee and comes back, proudly tells father, here is that rupee. He says, good, go and throw it into the well and have your food. Why should I throw it into the well? You know how hard I have worked to earn this rupee? And why should I throw it into the well? Father understood. See, that is what I wanted to teach you. You will not throw this rupee into the well because you have earned it with your swaprayatna, with your effort. So this samadhi, if you simply are like, come here, like giving laddus, I give samadhi to everybody, what will happen? Someday you'll throw it into the well. But if you work hard, you have controlled your senses, controlled your mind, did maunam, all temptations you have withdrawn from, pratyahara you have done, you have struggled, and out of this struggle comes that experience. Even if for a moment, let us forget, don't even worry about 12.5 minutes and 20 minutes. Just for a moment that comes and you taste it, you will not throw it into the well. Next time when all the other senses come alive and take revenge on you, 1 month you starved us. Here we are back. You will not fall for them. You will say, no, I have tasted something with a lot of effort. I am not going to throw that into the well now. I will rather grow it, not throw it. I will grow it 2 rupees, 4 rupees, 10 rupees, 20 rupees. That is how you will think. Otherwise, you will throw it. Because I have seen many people throw it. Many people throw it because they don't do it with their efforts. Father's money, pocket money you get, you spend it the way you want. When you have to earn and then you will count every rupee. In fact, you will come and advise your father only. Father, you spend a little less. Huh? Nowadays, you are spending too much because you are earning this time. The equations are changed. So that effort you have to put. Only with that effort when you earn, you will realize its value, you will not throw it, you will not waste it. Because it's out of sadhana it has come. So what happens? You may attain samadhi. Then what? Is the samadhi highest? Are these people subject to coming back to the lower desires again? Yes, of course. Vishwamitra would have experienced samadhi several times. He gave Gayatri mantra. Imagine Gayatri Mata revealed this mantra to him. It means he must be in a state of some samadhi only, where his mind is completely absorbed in that mantra, in Gayatri. And this mantra has been told. He would experience these things. But then when Menaka came, what happened? He lost his samadhi, lost his tapas, and got into same old ways. So what is the point? Even it can happen to Vishwamitra, then it can happen to anybody. So this is why you should earn it out of your effort. So beyond samadhi, Ramana Maharshi would say, it is beyond bliss. Now people are all now getting excited about if we can also experience that intoxicating bliss, how nice it will be. Swami says it is a feeling of its own kind, nothing compared to that. Okay, experience that. Why am I insisting that you experience that? Because you should know something like that exists by your own experience, one. Two, it should dissuade you from pursuing the lower experiences of joy. That's all. That is the idea of taking you till samadhi. What is the idea? Why I want you to experience samadhi at least once? Because that will help you turn away from the senses next time when they come. Because you have experienced something higher than what you have ever experienced. So why should you go and shortchange yourself for some lower, silly, physical pleasures when you have the Atmanandam with you? Why should you? That your buddhi should tell you at that time. That no, I have experienced something so beautiful. If I get back to my senses and sensual ways, then my purity will be destroyed, and all this effort that I put for months, I don't know when I will be able to again get a lockdown, and when I will be able to sit and listen to satsangs, when I will get this kind of a free time to meditate and do sadhana, when I will be able to attain that kind of a pure mind, when will I be able to stabilize it and attain that kind of one-pointedness? When will I be able to merge it in that thought of Brahman and understand this again? I don't know it will come again or not to me, this opportunity. Therefore, I will not make myself impure now. Having worked so hard to wash my clothes, kept it so clean. Now, if you have a new white dress, you washed and ironed and worn it, anybody comes, you will run 6 feet, do social distancing. You stay. Why? Because they may drop something on you. You are in dining hall queue. The person in front of you is pouring sambar in his plate. What will you do? You have whites and whites clean, you have washed it, ironed it with so much of effort. You will distance yourself from that person because his carelessness should not spoil your dress. I have seen these students doing all the time. They're going for darshan and also tea is being served, let us say. They have just worn a fresh white, new bright white to be presentable to Swami in darshan. And some fellow, careless fellow, is roaming around with a cup full of tea. What will you do? You will not tell anything. You will take another route. This fellow is careless. He'll drop the tea on my shirt only. Ho gaya mera darshan aaj. I'll be sitting and washing this. So what will you do? You'll avoid that person. Same thing you should do now. Having washed it clean for 1 month, suffered, struggled, and whitened your old clothes into a brand new, fresh looking whites and whites. Would you allow these kama, krodha, lobha, moha to come and dirty them again? You will tell, stay away from me. I see you. You are coming this way. Stay away, because if you come close, every possibility you will spill something on me and I will be the one who will suffer. You will spill and go away and say a small sorry. And but rest all that I have to do, sit down and start again from washing. So why should he allow you anywhere? You should avoid them. You should avoid these Arishat Vargas. You should avoid any of these circumstances or thoughts or any other way that it can again make your mind impure, which you have struggled so hard to purify. Because you have worked hard and you have attained it, so you will not throw it so easily. At least you will think twice before engaging in anything, because you will think, is this going to spoil everything that I have done so far? If the answer comes yes, then you will at least try to avoid. Definitely your willpower, your vairagya, your viveka will be stronger this time than what it was earlier. Because earlier you were not mindful only. Now you are mindful because you have trained your mind to think correctly, analyze, reject, focus. You have trained your mind this whole month. Otherwise, mindlessly everybody was living as it comes, without a care in the world. Weren't you? At least most of the time, most of the people. So anything was going on, whatever they think they were speaking, whatever they felt like they were eating, whenever they want to wake up, whenever they want to sleep, whatever they want to read, wherever they want to go. That is what was going on all this while. With great effort, you have brought it to some sense now in your life. Why should you spoil it again after having washed your mind clean and kept it focused? Why should you go and engage in anything that will again make it dirty? So that thought, that viveka will guide you this time. That vairagya which you have practiced right now will strengthen your fight against such ideas. And that focus sharp, the moment it comes pratyahara, take another route. Immediately you will apply pratyahara that time. And what you will do, you will take another route and save yourself. And you will not dirty yourself with anger, kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsara, and all their cousins and others in all possible forms. That is why you should earn it yourself with your sweat of your brow. Then you will not waste it, squander it. That is the idea. So beyond samadhi is Jivan Mukti. So there is a Savikalpa Samadhi. This is the method of Savikalpa Samadhi. It means with your own effort, you must attain the Samadhi. Then a stage comes of Nirvikalpa Samadhi also. How Nirvikalpa? You are always so pure. A small thought like Rama Bhajan comes, Samadhi. You don't have to start. Let me put a Sukhasana. Next step, Pranayama. Let me start Pranayama. Anulom, Vilom, Pranayama, Bastika. Next step, you will not have to think anything. Andara Rama, Bahara Rama, Gatagata Vasi Rama, done. Divyatma Swarupulara, that's it. Because your mind is always in the state of that purity. So you don't have to start all over again from zero. That's Nirvikalpa Samadhi. Effortless. Just by looking at like Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, it seems once he was going and there were dark clouds by the paddy fields and white a flock of swans flying across. It's such a beautiful sight. Has anybody seen white swans against the background of dark rain clouds? Should see. It's so beautiful. I have seen it when we were traveling to many campuses on the road. Beautiful fields will come. Sometimes you'll get evening, dark clouds will come. I have seen this flock of swans. Oh, swans means whatever the birds are available in those places. So beautiful they look. So he saw that and he thought, oh, the creation. And he lost himself. Because his mind was always in that elevated state of purity. He didn't have to start all over again. Your whites are always ready in the cupboard. Anytime darshan, pick up and go. If they are not ready, you will miss darshan. How? Because you will have to go, wash it, clean it, iron it. Suppose you always keep your whites clean as always it should be. When Swami will call, what situation, when I must be ready. Always alert, ready. But those who are mudadihi, na yatate, despite have got all the opportunities, Narajanma, all the Bhukshatvam, Mahapurusha Samshaya, but what they do? Atma Mukti, they don't want. So they murder themselves is what I said. Because Swami has come, darshan time. What happened? Why are you not coming? I don't have whites. But you had many whites. I saw you. Yes, but I didn't wash and keep it clean. Therefore I can't come. That's what happens to those who dirty their mind again. But somebody who keeps his mind always pure, Vishuddha, Vishuddhatma, what will happen? He's always ready for God. Anytime Samadhi can come, anything can take him into Samadhi. And somebody sang a beautiful line. Ah, what a beautiful line, Samadhi. Somebody chanted one mantram from the Upanishad. Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya Jiva Brahmeva Napara Samadhi. Anything will trigger off that Samadhi for such a person. Why? Because their minds are always in their elevated state of purity. They never allowed it to come down. So that is Nirvikalpa Samadhi, effortless. Then beyond that is one more. That is called Sahaja Samadhi. Sahaja Samadhi is what? You are always in that constant integrated awareness. A part of you is always blissfully absorbed in that thought of divinity. And there is another part of you which you yourself witness, watch. It goes about doing what it needs to do. So Ramana Maharshi would be in that kind of state of samadhi where the inside of him is steady, but the outside of him is working. That's a state to experience by itself. What is that? That is that. That's all I can tell right now. A state where you are inside you, yet you are outside. Again, Upanishads, tade jati, tanne jati. It moves, it does not move simultaneously. Tad dure, tadantike. It is far, yet it is near. It sleeps, yet it moves. Yati sarvatra. Shayana yati sarvatra. It is sleeping here, but it is also everywhere, moving. How can that happen? That state is Sahaja Samadhi, where you are always absorbed in the deep, pure consciousness of yours. And the body moves doing its things according to the prarabdha, they say. How? Again, Ashtavakra I have explained before also. Samskara vatena cheshtate shushka patravat. Because of the samskaras that they have come with, they have some prarabdha of the past. And that is making them be a teacher or a father or a child or a mother or a policeman or a gatekeeper or cook or whatever it is. That Purva Janma Prarabdha is making them do what they are doing today in the present day world. Yet, how is their movement? It's like a leaf, dry leaf floating because of the winds. They are not putting efforts to move. Bhagavad Gita says very clearly, who is that yukta, the one who is established in the thought? What does he think? Manyet tattvavid. After having knowing the tattva, what does he believe? What does he manyet? What does he understand? Na karomi kinchit iti. I don't do anything. He's established in this thought. Who? Yukto. Manyeta tattvavid. By knowing the tattva, that yogi or that mind which has been established in that thought completely, it completely believes na karomi kinchit. I don't do anything. So what happens to all that you are seemingly doing? Again the answer Bhagavad Gita gives. Pashyan, Shunvan, Jingran, Ashnan, Swapnan, Shwasan, Gachan, Visrajan, Unmishan, Nimishan. Every activity that you do, smelling, seeing, tasting, touching, listening, sleeping, dreaming, accepting, rejecting, even opening the eyes and closing the eyes, means open the movement of the eyelids also, they happen how? Indriyani indriyartheshu. Indriyas are doing for their own sake. I am not doing anything. Nakuryat. Not because of me it is happening. Indriyas are doing, why? I have a prarabdha, I was supposed to be a school teacher. Therefore I am a school teacher. As a part of that I am going and teaching in the school and coming back. Beyond that, that is my prarabdha which is making things happen. I am inside, the identification that I have with the pure consciousness is always ever steady. So what happens when you are in Jivan Mukti state and not in just Samadhi? So is Jivan Mukta in Samadhi? Yes. What kind of Samadhi? Sahaja Samadhi. What is the status of Sahaja Samadhi? The inside is steady. Outside is moving. That is Sahaja Samadhi. Such a person has been transformed into divine. Human excellence has happened. What do I mean by that? I gave the example. In the old time, there were alchemists who will, with metals and chemicals and all these elements they will do. And I was told that these people knew techniques with which they can convert one element into the other. So in India, they knew how to convert mercury into gold. Because I believe they are separated by only one atomic number. So that what happens is that the moment you pull out, it turns into gold. 79, 80. So the idea was that mercury, as long as it is mercury, it is, how mercury is. He has a mercurial temper, means anytime he can shoot up, anytime he can be cool. Mercury is used as an example for people who are very volatile. So mercury is very volatile. It is not steady. It keeps floating, moving. It is poisonous. It doesn't have the luster, shine or the steadiness of gold. But the moment the alchemist converts the mercury into gold, can gold be converted back into mercury? No. Mercury can be converted into gold, but gold cannot be converted back into mercury. So once he becomes gold, he becomes gold. He becomes pure, he becomes invaluable, he becomes steady, it becomes lustrous. He becomes priceless. Whereas as mercury, useless. In fact, poisonous. But gold, priceless. So the moment you cross this samadhi state, the Ashtanga Yoga, the last stage, and transfer your, or rather elevate, or rather, transform into that Jivan Mukta stage, there is no coming back from there again to lower desires. Not possible. He may appear to be having desires, like he is going to the school and he teaching and getting a salary for that. With that, he is buying new clothes for his family members, or he has bought a new phone because he needs it. But he will just do it because it's a part of his duty. He's not touched by, attached by it. He's not getting excited by it, nor is getting attached by it. Nor if he loses the phone, he's going to cry tomorrow. Nothing. As it is, he'll keep going. That is why again Ashtavakra says, Pravruttova va nivruttova va naiva dhirasya durgraha. The dhira, the understanding, the one who has become Jivan Mukta, either pravrutta means worldly attachments, or nivrutti, rejection of those. Both are equal to that person. Naiva dhirasya durgraha. It is not difficult for that person. There is nothing called attachment, so there is nothing called detachment for him. There is nothing called bondage, so there is nothing called mukti for him. He is in that state. That is why Nitya Mukta, Jivan Mukta. That person can be like that. So how does he behave then? He says, Yada yat kartum ayati tat kritva tishtati sukham. As and when whatever needs to be done, he does that and becomes peaceful. He is not compelled to do that. He does it as a part of his duty, as much is needed. Beyond that, he won't do, that's it. Why? Because it's unnecessary. There's no need for it. So Ramana Maharshi would not eat food or what? He will eat food. He has to eat his food. He'll come on time, have his breakfast, lunch, evening dinner. He will also go around doing Giridi Pradakshina. He will give small sermons or explain or answer a few questions here and there. Fond of his cow, fond of his peacocks. So you mean to say he's not a Jivan Mukta because he's eating food and eating and relishing it also. He likes dosa over something else. You can say so. See, we told you, this is all not true. He has a Jaguar car and a Mercedes Benz and he talks about Jivan Mukta. I know all these things. Goes in flights and travels around the world. Jivan Mukta. We know. All this is good to say. That is what some of our foolish students and devotees think. Because their understanding is only so much. So once Shankaracharya was going by a village and he saw a toddy shop. And he picked up the whole pot and drank it, one gulp. And all the disciples behind said, look we always knew something is not right here. See, he drank the whole thing. At least he should have invited us, we could have shared it. That also he didn't do. He drank the whole thing all by himself. And he walked away straight. While all others who drank, they were all crawling, rolling on the floor. Shankaracharya drank the whole, he was thirsty, he was hungry, whatever. Stood, drank, walked. Then these disciples behind, gossip started. These I told, business class tickets, I know, see these luxury cars, see this big hall and chandeliers and this is ashram, this is sannyasi, this is Jivan Mukta. Look at the way they are living. Facebook is agog with posts and reposts and re-reposts. Who cares? Next village, Adi Shankara is walking. And what does he see? Ironsmith is melting iron and making some equipments out of it. An axe, a sickle or something. Again he's hungry. He picks up a pot full of molten iron and drinks it like this. And puts it back. And walks away. And then the disciples know. So pravruttova nivruttova naiva dhirasya durgraha. To have something or to reject something is not an effort for that person. Oh, you need to have something, let us have it. If you don't want to have something, don't have it. I was telling these boys, you have to deal with people from the world outside, from the government to the industrialists to the reputed people who come to the ashram for various reasons. You come out in some unpressed careless clothing. You come out in some car that is falling apart. Unkempt, unshaven. Why? Because I am a sannyasi, I am a Jivan Mukta, you see. I should not be seen, I should be, at least perception should be clear. When people see me, they should think he's a Jivan Mukta, means basically he doesn't brush, doesn't bathe, doesn't do anything, doesn't eat. Look at him, look at this. Because we are running an institution, we have to yada yat kartum ayati tat kritva tishtate sukham. As it has to be done for that moment, for that reason, do that and be at peace. That is Jivan Mukta. Otherwise you will get excited. This is all mine, this all belongs. Nothing belongs to. The Jivan Mukta is very clear. Who belongs? This body also does not belong to me. It will leave me tomorrow. Without asking. Which I have been having for so long. He is so clear. So clear. What attachment for such a person? Tatra ko moha kashoka. Ekatvam anupashyata. Everything is same. But for the sake of the society and the duty that has to be performed, like King Janaka, he is a king, though he wanted to run away and become a monk. Ashtavakra says, not necessary. Be where you are. You can still be a Jivan Mukta, you can still be a sannyas. No, how can I rule the kingdom? I don't want to rule the kingdom. I don't need this kingdom. Ashtavakra says, you don't need this kingdom. The kingdom needs you. Therefore, go back and rule the kingdom. So he comes back, puts on his crown, puts on his jewels, puts on his royal robes and sits on the throne and rules the kingdom. Yet, not attached in his heart to anything. Pravruttova, nivruttova. Both ways he is unperturbed, unattached, unaffected. That is Sahaja Samadhi, that is Jivan Mukti, which is one level above, means for the sake of hierarchy I am telling. Otherwise there is no levels there. But just to tell that is far more superior than Savikalpa or Nirvikalpa Samadhi. These Samadhis can be attained by purification of mind, as we mentioned just now. Your Swarupa Shunya, because of some thought that has fully occupied your being. You are able to stretch one thought into many, many minutes of contemplation. So that is why you have dhyana. You are able to hold one thought compared to many other distractions. So you have a dharana. You are able to withdraw quickly from all the other things. So you have a pratyahara. And when your mind is troubling, you can control your breath, control your mind. So you have pranayama. And you can sit in one place, without moving. That is asana. And also you perform basic social and moral duties. Yama, niyama. But that doesn't entitle you to a status from where there is no return. You can always return back to all these things and again restart from here. Yama Niyama onwards you may start. Fallen yogis, we have heard of yoga brashtas. So it is possible. Therefore, the guarantee of no falling is only in Jivan Mukti. But why do I then pushing you all into experience that state of samadhi at least once for yourself? Because in that exalted state of that pure joy, that ananda which is there, hopefully it will dissuade you from pursuing the lower joys again. That is my sincere hope. That you will not throw it into dustbin and go back again to the same old state. Because we have tried everything to bring moral behavior, spiritual behavior into humans. But every strategy has failed. Somewhere somebody has slipped through the cracks. It's not been completely fail-proof. Any number of bhajan sessions, any number of discourses, any number of seva activities has not turned out to be completely fail-proof. Somewhere, some crack somebody has slipped through. Therefore, the one and the only, the permanent and eternal solution, which will put an end to all deviations, all transgressions, all distractions, is experience the joy, which is so beautiful, which is so redeeming, so elevating, that you yourself will tell yourself, Let us not dirty this mind again. Let us not engage in anything again which is going to take away this exalted, this beautiful state. Let my struggle not begin from the beginning again, because I have worked so hard to come this far. And he's right when he said, I've reduced the threshold, because in this 1 month, I want you all to experience at least one moment of that state. Nowhere, no guru will say, 30 days you practice this. No, how can you write 30 days? Everybody is different. Their own prarabdha is there, their own karma, their own. How can you say? But I am saying that if you practice, I will help. I will reduce that threshold for you, so that at least once you should be able to taste it. And then you know that is how it tastes. In front of it, all other things are insipid, actually tasteless. In fact, bitter, sour. Should develop some kind of a virakti from the other things. That is the first stage. But don't stop there too, is what my appeal is. Because that also is not a guaranteed, perfect, permanent. No, it can always reverse. In one moment of weakness, in one moment of unwatchful mind, in one moment of distraction when your viveka is at the back seat, it can come back. Then you have to, again, next time I'm not going to sit here and spend this kind of time. It may not happen again. This might be once in a lifetime opportunity. Therefore, experience at least something. At least experience is a higher joy. Swami keeps on saying something like that. I must know what it is. Therefore, you should experience. And then you should keep telling the work does not end there. In fact, work begins from there. You keep telling yourself, this is the state that I have to experience. Full time I want to be in this state. Sahaja Samadhi I want to be in. All the time I should be aware of my truth, while I perform all my duties for the sake of the performance of duties. I must always be in that state. Never come back to these lower states again. Keep telling yourself, keep pushing yourself. Don't let go. Then a state will come. Yesterday I've been telling, Asmi iti, the one who believes it exists. What happens? Paratattva prasidati. The Brahman becomes happy with such a person who is putting sincere efforts, and he will reveal. Yamayevesha vrunate tera labhya tasyaisha eva atma vivrunate tanum swam. It reveals its true nature to that person who has been craving, pining, wanting it. So it comes and reveals. Don't go further. Here I am. I reveal myself to you. Be blissful. Brahman will be happy. Once he becomes happy, he will take care. So idea is that even after this exalted state of momentary samadhi, nirvikalpa only chalo, forget savikalpa. By chance, some people are writing to me nowadays. We are walking and cool breeze passed, and for a moment I thought this is Brahman. And I felt some kind of a feeling which I don't know whether it is samadhi or not. Doesn't matter. Is it not a more beautiful feeling than anything that the senses can produce physically? If yes, then worth it. Try for it, strive for it. So even after having attained that momentary pleasure of samadhi, don't be too sure that you will not fall back. Permanent is the crossover, the escape velocity that is required. Is Jivan Mukti, is Sahaja Samadhi. And to attain that, much effort has to be put. You have to always be conscious that your white dress does not get spoiled. Nobody spills anything on it. You avoid all such people who are carelessly moving around with their sambar-filled plates and buttermilk-filled cups. You keep a distance. Because it can spoil your dress. And you may not have dress to go for darshan. Ever ready for samadhi. When Brahman will come and reveal, we don't know. Like Sabari. Ever ready for Rama. Didn't come today, doesn't matter. 20 minutes I sat in this back-breaking meditation. Brahman didn't reveal himself. Forget this meditation. I don't want to do anymore. Where is my dosa? Where is my coffee? At least some... How was the food? Brahmanandanga untindi. How was the meal today? Brahmananda it was. There is very possibility will flip back. Sabari sat there for years after years, waiting for Rama. Every day she collected berries, every day she collected flowers, cleaned the forest path, and waited from dawn to dusk with only one thought, Rama will come, Rama will come. Didn't come. Forget. Something my guru told. What does my guru know? Nothing doing. I waited 1 year, 2 years, 10 years, 20 years. How long should I wait? I will not pick up any more berries tomorrow. No. Again she went every day. Again she picked up. Where is that bhakti? If you say bhakti is, I am big bhakta. Okay, have this kind of bhakti. పట్టినదేదయో పట్టనే పట్టితివి, పట్టిన గేడు దాకా అట్టే ఉండు, కోరినదేదయో కోరనే కోరితివి, కోరిక చెల్లేడు దాకా కొలచి ఉండు, అడిగినదేదయో అడగనే అడిగితివి, అడిగిన తీడు దాకా విడవకుండు. స్వామి సేజ్ ఆర్ నాట్? తలచినదేదయో తలచనే తలచితివి, తలుపు తీరేడు దాకా తలలకొండు. డోంట్ మూవ్ టిల్ ద డోర్ ఓపెన్స్, డోంట్ మూవ్ టిల్ ఇట్స్ గివన్. పోరు పడలేక తానేన బ్రోవవలయు, not able to withstand your constant pestering, తానేన బ్రోవవలయు, he should come and say, here I am Brahman, this is Brahman, I reveal myself to you. You have worked very hard, your determination, your satyadruti is so strong, I am so happy, here I am for you. వదల తెలియక నీవేనా అడగవలయు. You don't know how to leave this persistence. So keep begging. అంతేగాని మధ్యలో ఆపివేసి తిరిగిపోవుట భక్తుని దీక్ష కాదు. Either you die asking for it, or you get it because the Brahman says, I must give it to this fellow, because there is sincerity, because their determination to know the truth is so strong. పోరు పడలేక, I can't anymore hide from you, fight with you, here I reveal myself. Otherwise you die asking it at the door of Brahman. Because anyway you are dead if you don't know your truth. Living deads. అంతేగాని మధ్యలో ఆపివేసి, in between giving up, 20 minutes, 2 weeks, this is enough for this birth. Still Brahman has not come. I really wonder whether it is really there or not. Because so sincere I am by now, I should have known it. By all means. It means there is no fault in me, my sadhana, my sincerity. Probably Brahman only does not exist. మధ్యలో ఆపివేసి తిరిగిపోవుట, రిటర్నింగ్ అండ్ గోయింగ్ బ్యాక్, భక్తుని దీక్ష కాదు. That is not the way of a devotee. So if you call yourself Bhakti Yogis, here is the challenge. Bhakti Yoga challenge for you. Don't give up halfway. If you think you are a Jnana Yogi, very good. Focus, become one with the thought of that Brahman, experience it. No escape. Don't look for excuses. Till you get it. So somebody said, Swami, I finished today's meditation, what shall I do? Continue, I said. If you have nothing else to do right now, continue. Because this is what you are supposed to do in the first place. Everything else should fit into this. Meditation should not fit into your schedule. Your schedule should fit into meditation. So if you finish chanting for so many times, whatever you had a target, continue chanting. Have you realized it? Has Brahman revealed himself to you? No, keep knocking. Till he opens the door, keep knocking. Why should you return? So all the movement, Nam Brahmasi is like knocking on Brahman's door. Brahman, reveal yourself to me. I am here waiting for you. How long? As long it takes. For Janmani Bahuni, several births. Janmani Ante, at the end of several births, you have come to this stage. Maam Prapadyanti, who comes to me after several births. Why should you worry about 1 month if you did not even experience that Brahman or Samadhi? It does not matter. You know the way, now you know the path. I have to keep walking in this direction. Swami tells me, keep walking, you will reach. Kalena Atmani Vindati. Sometime I will reach. Okay, some people have reached earlier, they walked fast. I am slow. Doesn't matter, at least I will keep walking. I will not turn back and go back saying, no, this is not for me, it's too far, too tough. Nothing is tough. In fact, this is the easiest. Holding on to so many worries, so many problems and so many desires is so tough. Not holding on to anything, just holding on to Brahman, which is your own true self. Not even holding, it is very much there. It holds you. It's so easy. Therefore, giving up halfway through this pursuit is not at all fair to yourself. And that is why, unless you experience with your own effort, you will not realize its value. You will be one of those pathabrashtas, yoga brashtas, yogis, you fall off halfway. And therefore, I don't encourage that. You should pray that, this is a nice idea. Nice idea. One test drive. Before I buy the car, one test drive. Let me see if it works fine. It fits me. There is no test drive here. You believe it is perfect manufacturing. There is no fault. This is the best car on earth. And no car on earth is better than this. No, first you believe that. Asmiti, you believe that first. Then you come here. No test drives and all that. Believe and buy. So if you really believe, where is the question of, can I get a sample? Why should you get? You should put your effort and get it yourself. Because once you get that with your effort, you will never throw it into the well. You will fight with all your Arishat Vargas. You will take a detour if you see them coming to save your purity. That is why you should struggle. Prayatno videyaha. Keep struggling, they say. Keep putting efforts. Why? Because kalena atmani vindati. Because at the end of it all, you are definitely going to find it. Na anya panthaya na vidyate. There is no other way. This is the only way. So where should I walk now? I am saying there is the only way to happiness is this road. There is no road at all. This is the only road. Keep walking. Don't stop. So that is the idea of this, and you have to put effort. Now you are reaching whatever, probably dharana, some longer times you are able to hold that thread of that thought. Elongate it for a longer time, sit longer. And whatever comes in your way, if you've eaten too much food, you can't sit, don't eat too much food. Spicy food, your stomach is troubling, don't eat spicy food. Doing something which gets on to your mind, don't do that for some time. Except for your basic duties which you do to run the ashram. That is a basic duty. Go there and come back without getting too attached to it. Just keep looking for when can I get back to my meditation. Like the child who's waiting for the bell to ring so that he can run to the play field. Like that eagerness you should wait. And with that eagerness you will attain it because Brahman will become happy. And he will come and reveal himself to you when you are ready for it. So just get ready. That's Swayam Yoga Samsiddhaha. It will come on its own. To whom? Yoga Samsiddhaha. Who is ready with his yoga. You have finished Ashtanga Yoga, you are ready. Anytime it can happen. But that is the idea. With that you should wait. Like the Chataka bird, you should wait. Which will drink only from the rainwater but would not dip its beak in dirty pools. Even if it dies of thirst, it will not drink from the dirty water from the pools. It will only wait for the rainwater to come. Like that you wait for Brahman to come and don't fall into this Brahma again. That is how your pursuit should be. Okay, so all the blessings that you continue in this path and achieve what is required.